Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Karlton Says Real Talk. Today, I am here with actor. You guys may know him if you're soap opera fans. You may know him from The Bold and the Beautiful. If you're fans like me of Being Mary Jane, you may also know him from that show as well. I'm here today with Mr. Aaron D. Spears. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk with me today.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey man, all right. Well, let's jump on into it. Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know where you grew up and how did you get started into acting?
I grew up in Washington, D.C., kind of fell into acting on a whim. Was in college, not thinking about acting, playing football, actually, and was trying to receive a higher grade in a speech class. The speech teacher and the play production teacher were the same. He would not allow me to make up the paper. He just wanted me to kind of come and do a play, which I was very adamant that I did not want to do that. But I ended up succumbing to his wishes, went and, did whatever it is he wanted me to do for this so-called play, and ended up falling in love with acting and just kind of put myself in a position to turn the one part into 6 smaller parts that grew into this substitution for the sport I thought I would end up playing the rest of my life, which was football, and I found something to substitute the quote-unquote pain, because as you may or may not know, football is a sport that you're never actually healthy. It's just how much can you endure. So
Right.
it was more of now I have something to pour myself into that still gives me joy outside of destroying and deteriorating my body over the years.
All right, cool. Well, Aaron, you have a very pretty long body of work. Ladies and gentlemen, I checked his IMDb page and just I've been a fan of his for years, but he's been on Everybody Loves Raymond, Half and Half. I definitely Aaron, remember you on Leakin' Heights, the ABC family show. Love that show. Now, how have you been able to last so long in this industry?
You know what? It's one of them things where you just have to put in the work, per se, and not look at the accolades or not get caught up in the hype, because the entire industry is built around hype. So if you emotionally ride the hype roller coaster, then by the end of the day, you're a wreck. Your highs are really high and your lows are really low. So I try to stay even killed pretty much in the middle and just focus on trying to do my very best to get better each and every time I'm asked to do something. And even if I'm not asked to do something, involve yourself in a play, involve yourself in a class, something to keep your craft being perfected. Because writers write, painters paint, so actors must act.
That's right. I agree, man. I agree, man. All right. Well, let's talk about your character on The Bold and the Beautiful. For those of you who don't know, he plays Justin Barber. Now, my understanding, because I've interviewed a few people who have worked on soaps. Working on a soap opera is like a completely different beast than working on like a regular television set or a film set. Now, how has your experience been working on the show?
My experience has been great. The only, I guess, part that I was unaware of, one was I didn't realize how large of a fan base soap operas had, especially the show that I'm on. Didn't even know it was worldwide. I didn't need, let alone number one in the world. So that was kind of daunting at first. And then just the loyal fan base that soap operas have.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a warm and welcoming feeling that they give you. But at the same time, the industry doesn't look at soap opera actors as the same as not daytime, but prime time, as well as movie actors. Each one has its own, specific category. And to me, I didn't understand that, because it was still acting. I'm still portraying characters. I'm still giving you real, true, and raw emotion. So why is there a segue between the two? Why is there a separation? And I guess that was something I had to learn and kind of grow into. If you notice, you don't really see soap opera actors on the cover of any magazine.
Right.
So that kind of gives you an idea of how the industry separates the three mediums.
Okay. Well, for those who are big Bold and the Beautiful fans, is there anything you can tell us about what will be coming up with your character?
For the first time in a long time, Justin he's taken over a little. I know he went mischievous there for a little while with the revealing of what Brooke was doing with Oliver. He's kind of gotten back into his, mischievous ways somewhat. And for the first time, I think in 4 years, and I honestly wish they had given me more time. But Justin will have his shirt on for the first time in 4 years, which they kind of threw on me in last minute. But it is what it is. It's soap operas, So yeah, I guess they have fans. If that's something that they're looking forward to, is Justin will be shirtless in an upcoming episode.
Okay, all right, ladies. That's something you got to look forward to. Now let's jump into another show. This is actually a show that I really enjoy. Your role on BET original series Being Mary Jane. Now, for those of you who have been living under a rock and have not seen or heard of this show, Aaron plays Mark Bradley. Now, tell us about your character on Being Mary Jane.
He's basically a guy who is very kind of has been set in his ways in terms of what he's trying to accomplish as a newscaster and getting his stories told, understanding that our stories in terms of people of color are poignant as much as those other stories, and trying to fit between the transition of being an old-time, I'm not necessarily going to say old-time, but an old-school newscaster as opposed to a new-school newscaster, and trying to find the balance between the two, being a friend and confidant of Mary Jane, who is played by Gabrielle Union, given that we're the only two individuals at SNC, which is sort of like a CNN that has their own particular show. She has her hour show, I have my hour show, and, confiding in her with, what I feel in terms of the ups and downs of her relationship, and then trying to get her to understand the ups and downs of my relationship, and then at the same time, to wrap all of that up, he just so happens to be gay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the season finale is next week, and I know everybody is going to be. It's a 2-hour season finale. I know that there's something going to big is going to definitely happen. Can you give us a little hint about what we can expect in the season finale?
I think you're going to see a lot of resolve in terms of each character and where their journey throughout season 1. And maybe the conclusion that they feel they have possibly come to in terms of me and my transition from this like Tom Bogart type of guy to this new kind of Bradley Cooper / Don Lemonish type dude that I'm now involved with in terms of delivering the news, social media, and incorporating that into what I am and who I'm trying to be, the new person. Mary Jane trying to get resolved with all the dudes that she's dealing with.
Right.
The center. And Kara dealing with her family issues and working too hard and losing her kids, and her brother sniffing coke and not sniffing coke, and is he going to remain an addict? He's moving out. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? And the other brother getting caught up in selling weed. And it's just like all of these different layers, I think, come to a climax, so to speak, which then jumps you off into season 2 to try to see, once they've made that conclusion, once they come to that resolve, where will they go from there? And then that takes you off into season 2, which we have not started shooting yet, but will begin soon.
Now, I know you're very busy gearing up for season 2 of Being Mary Jane. Now, do you have anything else that you're working on, or do you have that freedom to work on any other projects besides The Bold and the Beautiful and Being Mary Jane?
We are able to do other things. I think that was the question that you asked. We are able to branch out and explore different projects to a certain degree. Of course, nobody wants to allow you to go be now a series regular on another show, but they will allow you to get out, because if you really think about it, the more you do outside of the box, the more attention is brought back to the box. So if you're blowing up on the silver screen, say, for instance, doing movies here, there, and everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's time to shoot season 2, kind of, Katherine Heigl's, George Clooney's. I mean, hey, nobody's going to complain. I mean, George Clooney was on ER before he started blowing up doing movies, and Katherine Heigl was on Grey's Anatomy before all of a sudden that whole thing started to jump on. So I think as long as there's a balance between the two, sometimes you can't get caught up in the hype wagon and thinking that you're bigger than the actual series that created you. I think as long as you stay grounded, then that is a juggle that everyone is willing to take and do.
Right. I definitely agree. Now, do you have an idea? You mentioned season 2. Do you have an idea as far as what season 2 may be about, or is it like, are you just in the dark like the rest of us?
We don't have a clue. They don't tell us anything. The only way we find out what's going on, man, is once we get to Atlanta, we'll sit down, we'll have a table read, but we're already in Atlanta.
Okay.
We're already getting ready to shoot that next season, and you'll read through however many episodes it's going to be. That might be like a whole day process. Like in the morning time, you'll read, say, for instance, scripts 1 through whatever, and then that evening, you'll read the other remaining script, and that's kind of how you get an understanding of what the season is, what it's going to be, and that's how we did it last time. So I could recall sitting at that table read and hearing and reading the information that was being presented, and I'm just like, man, can we do this on TV or what? You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
like, this is like crazy, dude. But I'm assuming season 2 will have that same reaction because as you and the audiences can see, we're really not pulling the punches. It's very much real life, a slice of life, and hey, it is what it is.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now, is there any advice that you can give to up and coming actors who want to, be a part of the entertainment business?
I think that is probably the most asked question. There's really no path. I think the myth is that, I don't know, maybe because you're in people's houses and living rooms, maybe it appears to be a mystery. It's like anything else. If you want to go and be a carpenter, you go to school for carpentry, or you go and intern at some place that offers carpentry services. It's kind of the same situation. Some people are like, well, man, I don't know anybody that acts. Well, I know you know of acting classes. I know you know of plays. I know you've heard of these things. So first, immerse yourself in that and see if it's something that you even like. I thought I was going to play. Everybody thought they were going to play an instrument in school at one point. And see, you got that instrument home and found out you had to practice every day. You were like, man, this violin isn't cracked up as I thought it was.
Right.
Well, this trumpet is hurting my mouth. I don't want to play the trumpet anymore. So it's kind of the same situation. Just, there's different ponds all over the world. Some in major cities and some in rural areas. It depends on where you're from and what you want to be. If you want to be a big fish in a small pond, or if you want to, indulge yourself into the big ocean and then take on the challenge of being that small fish and working your way up to being a great white shark. So everything takes time to perfect. So you have to be patient, and you have to kind of be on that universal time frame. Everything happens in the time and moment that it's supposed to. Maybe not at the time you want it to be, but hey, you got to be patient. You just got to stay steadfast and believing in yourself, that sometimes can be difficult, and then just persevere through those rough moments, because everything in life is going to take energy, it's going to take effort, it's going to take you giving it your all. And until you do that, you cannot say that you can fully like or dislike anything. You can't really half-step going through this process as you can any other process. Put yourself into it, immerse yourself into it fully, and you'll know real quick if this is something you're trying to do.
That's some great advice, man. And I think that's just, you hit the nail on the head, man. It's definitely poignant, and it can apply to anybody, not just acting, but it's being a doctor, a writer, whatever. That's some very great advice, Aaron. Thank you so much for that. Now, Karlton says a blog about television. I know you're a very busy man. If you do have some downtime, what are some of your favorite TV shows that you like to watch?
Man, dude, I really don't get a chance to watch TV. If I get a chance, it's, maybe something that I went and got the kids a movie or something like that. Every so often, me and the wife get a chance to sit down and watch a movie. She likes cooking channels. So I find myself watching these cooking channels a lot, these cooking shows, which are quite interesting because, it makes the household very interesting in that some of these recipes end up in your kitchen and end up in your stomach, so I really have no problem with that. Other than that, man, I really don't get a chance to watch too much TV. I found myself as of late, if I hear that there's a good show, I may watch it simply to get an understanding of it. So if there is an audition or a guest spot or something that comes up, I have something to pull from in going in for that audition. But man, I would love to sit down and watch Scandal. I would love to sit down and watch House of Cards. I would love to sit down and watch, what is it, Black is the New Orange, or Orange is the New Black, or whatever the name of that is. But I just haven't had the time to really do that. When you have a family and you're trying to run a company and you're acting, and it's only so much time in one day. So for me, it's about trying to push forward and do the next greater thing, the creation of elevating the whole independent game. Let's give ourselves a medium to express our stories in a format and in a way that is of high quality. Not saying that the quality out there now is bad, but man, it's time for us to tell stories beyond Boys in the Hood 9. It's time for us to reach back to that childhood mind and bring maybe some of the some of the stories we grew up on, maybe turn that into an animated series. I mean, there's just so many stories that have not been touched upon. That's what interests me more so than maybe just sitting down and watching something that's already done. You know.
I hear you. I hear you. I definitely feel you, man. Now, last but definitely not least, if fans want to connect with you, how can they do so?
Everything is the same across the board. At Aaron D like David Spears, AARONDSPEARS, and that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All of those are the same. So you can find me. Just hit me up. It's me. I have a personal assistant, and nobody responding. So you get a hit back, whatever it is. That's me for real.
That's what's up, man. Thank you so much again, Aaron, for taking the time out to speak with me today. I appreciate it, man. It was definitely great talking with you, and I definitely learned a lot. And again, just thank you so much for talking with me today, man.
Man, totally appreciate you, dude. Keep doing what you're doing, and much love to everybody. Love and support is truly and greatly appreciated.
Thank you, man. Thanks again. All right, guys, if you want to catch Aaron on The Bold and the Beautiful, that is on CBS at 1:30. And also, if you guys definitely check out the season finale of Being Mary Jane, that is next Tuesday on BET, starting at a special time at 9 p.m. because it's 2 hours. So again, next Tuesday, season finale of Being Mary Jane at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on BET. All right, guys, that's going to wrap things up for me for Karlton Says Real Talk. Definitely, you guys have a great day, and we look forward to talking with you again. All right, peace.